It's puck time. I'm the Prez. We got Andrew McInnis with us and my good pal and awesome dude, Carmine Bianco. It's Thursday. I'm a little bit tired. We got 3 games. We're going to keep the show super tight. Carm, how are you, brother?
Doing good. We're experiencing some cold up here. It's like minus 20 today. Wind chill like minus 30. So trying to stay warm. But we're Canadian.
I live down the road from you, and this weather doesn't bother me, brother. Doesn't bother me at all. Alex, what's going on in Halifax? Andrew, what's going on in Halifax?
I mentioned to you guys yesterday, Prez, it's not really as bad as far as, being cold here, but just really shitty, crappy weather. I mean, if there's any time to bash on Halifax, Prez, right now is the time because I was playing basketball yesterday, had a great time, going out in the parking lot and just completely ate it, fell on my back. My neck was hurting and everything like that. So it's black ice everywhere. So it's kind of a dangerous spot to be right now until they get some salt down. But other than that, life's good. Got some games to talk over with you guys and going to a hockey game tonight. So looking forward to it.
Nice. Okay, well, let's get to it, boys. Carm, we'll start with you. Philadelphia going into Boston. Philly on a little bit of a tear right now. 22 games below 500, trying to climb their way back into the race. They've won 5 in a row and are playing really good defense. Just beat the Rangers 1-0 in New York. We got Boston at minus 230. A big number. They've lost their last 2 games in a row, both of them at home. The over and under is 6. What do you like in this game?
Yeah, you know what? We talked about it earlier. Philly, I thought at some point once Philly straightened out their goaltending, that they would be a buy in the second half. And they're winning now. Like they beat this Philadelphia team a couple of weeks ago, I think 4-3 at home. Plus 182 it's juicy. He's been pretty good. He's 7-5-1. He has beaten Philadelphia a couple starts ago. It's Raskin net tonight as opposed to Halak. Halak's been absolutely brutal for the Bruins, 1-5 last 6. I don't know, man. Philadelphia's just playing well, and sometimes you don't want to get in front of that train. Teams just put some wins together. I like Philadelphia tonight, but I actually think it's going to be a tight game throughout. I like the under 6 here as my play.
Andrew, any thoughts on this game?
Well, you know what? I think you look at this one here, you look at Boston, and you look at that loss they had against Winnipeg, and you really think they had a great start. I mean, you talk about extended rest, and for the next several days, we're going to be talking about extended rest and how it affects teams. Last night we saw that as well, but I think we saw Boston get off to a good start. Maybe the fatigue set in throughout the entire game, third period. We saw Kyle Connor go for 2 goals right away for Winnipeg, kind of shut down any momentum that Boston really had. So, kind of the same thing that we saw from Pittsburgh last night, guys. And Prez, I know you liked Pittsburgh as well. I think Boston really comes to life here, and I think that you look at a second game of, after the break here, and after that disappointing loss to Winnipeg, I could see Carm's point that Philadelphia is buckled down defensively, but it's like you said, there's so much talent on this Philadelphia team that it's about time they started playing some good hockey, and I do think they're going to buckle down defensively, but it's not going to last for too long. They're not going to be shutting teams out every single game, and let's remind everybody that was the New York Rangers. It wasn't anything too special of a team that they shut out. I think we can all agree on that. So in the essence of it, Prez, I just think statistically, to an over. I think Boston kind of explodes here. They had a good start. They couldn't finish the game. Coaching staff will not be impressed with that. And again, I'm always talking about how good their top line is past Marchand and Bergeron. But they need some more support from their supporting cast. We got to get that second, third line involved. We got to get those defensemen moving the puck up the ice a lot faster. I found Boston spent far too much time on their own end that game, and that kind of affected them big time. So, look, I think obviously it's far too steep of a price to take Boston, but I think I would look at an over in this one simply because I think the pace has to be off in this one. Too much talent in Philadelphia. Philadelphia.
He's Andrew. We got Carm with us. Carm can be found at WagerTalk.com every day, and Andrew always at Sports Memo. One likes the under, the other likes the over, and I really have no opinion on this play. I mean, if I were going to bet this play, I would take Boston in regulation. The New York Rangers, we just spoke about them. They just lost to Philadelphia at home 1-0, but they are playing much better. They've won 3 of their last 4 of late. And tonight they're on the road in New Jersey. The Devils are at home at -150, and they won their last game in Pittsburgh and looked great. But they've lost 3 of their last 4. And New Jersey's just not a really good team. They're 19-23 on the season. They're playing a 500 team in the Rangers that are in the playoff hunt. The over and under is 6. Andrew, let's go to you first. I like the under in this game. I think it's too big a number for a game that the Devils are involved in.
I think it's too big of a number for both teams that are involved in. I mean, for a long time, I stated that New York would be an over team. But looking at this matchup right now, I had to fully agree with you. I think that I'm the one that often talks about depth and talks about how important it is to have, talent throughout your entire lineup. And that's always been the biggest problem for this team here. I mean, you got guys like Palmieri, you've got guys like Hischier, like Hall, but then Prez, Carm, who's next on that list? I mean, who do you really rely on when Hall's not going, when Palmieri's not firing? And that's kind of my issue with them. And, their defense has been decent. Their goaltending's gotten better throughout the entire season. And look, if New York's going to have any kind of good performance, they have to have a really good first solid 20 minutes, clog up the neutral zone, and kind of slow the pace down. They don't want to play that fast-paced style hockey in my eyes. And for me, I would agree with you. I would take the under. I'm going to kind of stay away from the side guys. To me, it's kind of iffy.
Carm, any thoughts on this game?
Not many. I think we're, again, on the opposite side of totals here. I would lean to the over here, but you've got 2 teams. I know you said, the Rangers are playing better, but these are 2 teams I don't think will be anywhere near in the second half of the season, sort of like in a playoff race-wise. We're just going to see some teams now coming out of the All-Star break, try and string some wins together, find out whether they're a buyer or a seller at the All-Star break. At the trade deadline. I just don't see either of these teams making the playoffs this year. So
I don't see these teams making the playoffs either, but I do like the under. Sucks that we're against each other there, but that is what happens. Absolutely. Let's go to you first, Carm, with Columbus at Winnipeg. Columbus, 77% of the people here are on Winnipeg tonight, and I really like this bet. Winnipeg just beat Boston 4-3. They did lose their last 2 of their last 3 road games against Philly and Dallas. They're playing a Columbus team that's lost 3 in a row, but before that they won 4 in a row. And I'm really struggling with this Columbus team and have been all year. Torts, or as I call him, Arthur Fonzarelli, the team is just so inconsistent, but you can count on him getting pretty damn mad when they start playing bad, and they don't really string a lot of losses in a row together. I don't know how you can't bet Winnipeg here. The over and under is 6. I don't have a thing on the over and under. But I would release Winnipeg to my clients other than the fact that I can't seem to get a grip on this Columbus game. Carm?
I think numbers-wise or coaching-wise, like Torts, he gave it to the team after that loss against the Sabres. They fell behind, came back. It's just one of those games where tonight, I think they're live, and I've watched this line fluctuate all morning. Columbus is like plus 124 right now. I actually think I'm playing the contrarian here to you, where you like Winnipeg. I actually like Columbus as a short dog here, plus 124.
Andrew,
I think he read the team the riot act after that loss to the Sabres.
Yeah.
It's now 3 in a row. Winnipeg's coming home off a 4-game trip, and usually 4-game trip, but that trip was split in half with the All-Star break, right? So they only played a couple games after the All-Star break. But I'm gonna take a stand here. I'm gonna take the Jackets at a small price here, plus 124 tonight.
This is the problem that I'm having with this game. Is you're right. Torts read him the riot act. He usually gets this team motivated. It's what concerns me. Andrew, what do you think about this game?
I mean, looking at recent history, looking at the loss that Winnipeg took to Philadelphia, guys, and then what they go ahead and do against Boston, they're being down 2-1 for about 35 minutes in the game. And to end on that note that they did, I mean, a couple fights, couple power plays, a couple strong, moments in their own offensive end, and kind of turn things around big time. So I get it, Carm. They go back, they head back home after a long road stretch, the All-Star break, of course, and what do you expect from them? They're massive favorites, but I would look at Winnipeg in regulation here. I think that this isn't really the spot that Columbus kind of sparks back to life. I think we get a better performance out of them, but I think the top six is just far too much. Columbus, they've got depth, but they play too slow pace of a game. I like the guys like, I think Laine is due. Laine has to pick things up. We've got guys like Wheeler that are playing really angry right now. A guy like Kyle Connor, I mentioned earlier, scored 2 goals in about a minute or a couple days ago. He's a guy not talked about enough. He's down there on the third line a lot of the time. He's so talented. A lot of these guys are really skilled at just throwing pucks at the net. They're not very specific. That's what I like about this Winnipeg team. They don't try and be too cute or too fancy with the puck. I'll also look at the Alex B. Smith special with the over in the first period, 1.5. I mean, you can kind of you're laying a little bit of juice with it, guys. But Columbus and Winnipeg. If anyone has seen Alex's kind of projections with that and his list with the stats, they're definitely up there in the list for top teams with the first period over. So definitely, if you want to get that, get on it sooner than later. But I look Winnipeg in regulation, and I look over in the first period.
In that game you mentioned, the Winnipeg Boston game. I was watching that game, and I thought the Bruins were playing a great game. Literally bringing Winnipeg into their style of hockey, and then they just got just too physical. It's almost as if they woke Winnipeg up with those fights, and
yes.
It just I thought they threw him in. It was perfect. It looked like it was going to be a Bruins victory, and they just woke up the sleeping bear with this Winnipeg team. You can't do that to a team like Winnipeg, and I think it just came back to bite them on the ass. And now that's 4-5, the Bruins have lost. So yeah.
He's Carm. That's Andrew. I'm the Prez. The show is over. Tomorrow's show, Andrew and Alex. Guys, thank you so much for joining us. Have a great weekend. Enjoy the Super Bowl, and good luck in all your bets. Love you both. You're awesome, and we'll speak to you later.
Good luck, guys.
Thanks, guys.